Wow. That's
Yeah, man,
that's interesting, man.
This as I'm watching and seeing how it play out, dude. Ain't no more love. I'm being honest with you. It's just more like we in a coon stage.
Or are people afraid?
That too.
Good afternoon, family. This is 810 News Media Network. Media, right? Media Group. What did I get? I said something wrong.
810 News Media Group.
810 News Media Group. All right. And this is Black Watch featuring brother Elliott McCants with Uncle Mickey Jordan here as the host with the most. And we're here to hopefully continue to enlighten our family as we continue to forever celebrate our history all across the world. So don't stop celebrating it just because February 28th was Friday and that was the last so-called day. It continues because when you wake up, look in the mirror, there's your history. And also we can add, yesterday started the Women's History Month. So we can talk about, still celebrating the mothers and the grandmothers and the great grands who fought against a system in order to give us a better life. So we have been diving into and talking about politics. We've been diving in and talking about this Willie Lynch letter and how pervasive that particular ideology is in our community. Oh, is that little mama? She on there already?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, good morning, man. Good afternoon. We're glad you're here. We appreciate you. And okay, there we go. 810 News Media Group. Okay, I got it. We trying to turn it into a network, so we need to make it happen. So y'all come on. We're gonna always refer back to why we're here and how we can get out. Right? I'm going to say this again as a teacher, and I just had the opportunity to be in Saginaw last week, and hopefully I can get some footage from a performance I did with a group of young people up in the neighborhood house. I'm in Saginaw on Russell, 3145 Russell Street, and they've been doing some good stuff in the communities. Hopefully we can emulate it or do better. If we're interested in opening a center so we can start working with our youth more than just in the summertime, but work with them all year round because they need it. They need our support and we need their support. And it was wonderfully fundamental to be able to see the young people, the youth, be able to interact with the elders there. And I got an opportunity to take a few minutes to talk after the young people were, finished speaking their little parts that they have for their program. And my position as a teacher, and I'm going to tell you this, is that you should be as parents. And if we're working on one accord, we're going to make sure that we bring in a better student, not only for this year, but for the following year and for the following year after that and for the following year. So you never take your hands off the wheel, even when your students are in college. But you have to make sure that you, right, are very clear in giving the fundamental basis and their fundamentals for when they come to school. Not just being able to count this, not my colors, and that's your job. We have to, so in order for us to combat the system, right, we know we should be very clear that each and every one of us has a different profession in us, right? Something that we're passionate about, right? So I can very clearly say and be absolutely correct. The part of what I know my big brother's passion is and what he does has something to do with video, right? Because even on a small scale, watching him do this is amazing to me. So, and he's also a reporter to the degree that he's a reporter. So he would be the person in ancient times who would gather the information from one group, one tribe, and give it to and take it over to the other tribe. That's his job because it's in him genetically to be able to report these things, right? It's in a spirit. But whatever that is that's in our children, you also have to make sure that they express it because that's what's going to make things easy for them to become who it is that they want to become. But let's not limit all that they are to just what we've been relegated to, sports and entertainment. They should be well rounded, right? I don't want to have to argue or struggle with children, or shouldn't have to, that, oh, I don't like reading because it's boring, it's whatever. Because if you're reading to them when they're young, they're going to love it, right? And that means read some stuff that doesn't have necessarily have to be Dr. Seuss. And please make sure you look up Dr. Seuss because at one time he was talking about things between World War One and World War Two. That wasn't what ended up being with Cat in the Hat and One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish. So if you go back and look up some of his history, and it could be propaganda, it is said that he wrote some things on the behalf of the German government that were not childlike and that were in support of the government at one time. Now, I could be wrong. Check the facts, make sure. But it is your job as a parent. It's your job as a parent to help create the armor so that when our young people go out into the world, they know how to move. Most of our young people, most of us as well, are reactionary. We react to everything instead of being strategic and planning something so that I don't have to react. If this happens, then this happens. If this happens, then I'm going to do this. It's like people that play chess. People that play chess think 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9 moves ahead. If this person does this, then I can move this. If this does that, then I do. If they move over here after. So that people are very calculated in chess. We don't think that way. We think like checkers. Oh, if you move out there, I'm going to jump it. Not wondering what the consequence is on the other side of the jump. Right? So we have to start thinking as chess players. If this happens, then what do I do? If this particular piece moves on the board, then what do I do? What moves do I have to make? Not move, but moves do I have to make? Because on a chessboard, each side has 16 pieces. Just 32 pieces on the board. Eventually, they're going to meet in the middle, and that's where the exchange starts to take place. What we've been doing is backing off the board and giving away things. What do I mean by that? Well, in the late 50s, early 60s, there was a school down south called Paul Laurence Dunbar High School who scored the highest scores in the nation at over 92%. And everybody in that school looked like everybody else, and they were all black. 92%. 30 years later, that school was closed. This was in the 50s. In the mid to late 80s, that school got closed.
Mm. Angela Lynette, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. Thank you for showing up. No, he was racist. He's okay. I'm glad you said that. I was trying to be. Yeah, you're right. He was racist. He was very racist. Then he became an author that everybody fell in love with, and everybody got their books. We did too. Bought the books in the house.
Yeah.
I didn't read that to my children. I was read, Before the Mayflower by Lerone Bennett Jr., science books,
Right.
Malcolm X, or autobiography of Malcolm. That's what my kids heard me read.
Right.
They didn't hear me read One Fish, Two Fish. We wasn't doing that because it was very clear and very deliberate. And see, that's what we're not doing. Mm-hmm. We're not being deliberate about how we're moving in this world anymore. We're being reactionary.
No, I agree.
So even this thing that happened on Friday, why wouldn't you do it the whole month of February? Why when you do say bump it, we're not just gonna do one day in February because I'm mad that people doing this and they pulling our programs. What do you expect?
But see,
Can I hold on? Let me hold that thought because I know you're coming somewhere. If you cut yourself and you bleed and stick your hand in the water, aren't the sharks gonna come? Okay. So if you're bleeding in the water and you're in the water, don't you eventually expect the sharks to come? Whether they be small, but eventually the big one's gonna come.
oh yeah, because they can sense it. They gonna smell it. Yeah, that's what I
Go
no,
ahead.
no,
Come on.
because the reason I say that, I don't want to get nobody in trouble. That's just like, and this is when you see President Zelensky coming over with Trump,
Mm-hmm.
how they went back and forth. And I'm looking at how people here, because they hate Trump, they bigging up Zelensky.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell everybody this, and I hate I gotta keep saying, I voted for Kamala, but this just to let me know how crazy some people are. I mean, well, I ain't gonna say crazy. People are delusional, easily to be brainwashed. That's why when you talking about that Willie Lynch letter, man, it need to be further No, what? It need to be exposed to the people, because you got people who think they really woke,
Mm-hmm.
and they sleep.
Not. They're not. They're not.
They sleep.
They woke only because they don't eat pork.
I saw somebody put on there, I stand with Ukraine. Don't even know what's going on.
Have no clue where Ukraine is.
And don't even know what's going on, but they saying I stand with Ukraine. Man, I was trying to make this make sense. I'm like, our people are really, they'll go join everybody else stuff, but won't worry about getting our stuff together.
Okay, so we'll go, and I'm gonna say it. It is what it is. Unless Palestinian students are here, how many Palestinian people are concerned about the number of black people getting killed by the police over there? They can't be, of course, because they're in war. I get that. But the only time we hear about people concerned about us is if they're here where they're fairly safe. And it's horrible what's going on that's supported by the government about any place, right? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I don't hear, like, I know people that I've drummed with and whatever, but they don't be talking about, man, it's messed up what happened over there. They worried about what's going on in their home country.
No, that's what I was saying when I seen people here. But that's just like when I see blacks go throwing on stuff like St. Patrick's Day. I ain't knocking you. I ain't knocking nobody that they do. That's even like we can do everything. Easter coming up. Blacks finna be celebrating Easter. You know, Christmas. That's the
all them holidays we talked about before.
Yeah. Valentine's Day we just got through.
Right. And don't even know the history of Valentine's. Did I talk about that real quick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can still enlighten.
Because we're gonna touch on that.
And they don't get it. And now we finna get to Easter.
Right, which is another
pagan holiday.
Right. And people don't even understand where it comes.
Yeah, but I'm saying when you go off into that, and that's why I see our people go. It's just like I can see how people can be brainwashed. Yeah. Don't even know what was going on.
Because we don't study. Remember when Russia first attacked Ukraine, they wouldn't even help the black Africans in the Ukraine escape.
If you see how they got did, I'm just talking about with Ukraine. You know what side Ukraine was on? On Israel's side.
Yep.
In this war. And that's just like when you go see over there, what you think when America, the failed state they did with Muammar Gaddafi over there.
Right. They destroyed his whole city and his whole country.
And what the blacks are over there put in slavery.
So then if we go back to that, right? And we're not saying that what happened with I'll say that. And that's okay for you to be able to do that. But stand with your own first.
That's what I'll be getting. I'm thinking like, I get it. We go run to everybody.
Yeah.
Issues.
Yeah. But we won't stand with our
right
own.
Now. Police brutality still going on.
Yeah.
They just showed what the dude, not to cut you off, a dude was at home and the police was talking about how they automatically had their guns out.
Yeah, as soon as you walk up to the door. Like, I had an incident where I got stopped traffic stop, whatever.
Yeah.
And I had to tell a dude, he was like, I'm going to roll my window down, my wallet's in my pocket, can I get it? He was like, he was cool, but I don't need you to walk along the side of the car back here on the side because you're being safe. And I get the reason why. I want to go home and you want to go home too.
Right.
So we're not trying to have no conflictual stuff where it goes to somewhere that it shouldn't. And it was simple, and I got to fix it. It is what it is. But every single time that we see red lights flash behind us, we get immediately, you get scared. Kind of, what the heck happened? Well, I know what my situation was. I just got to fix it.
Yeah.
But I ain't scared of you because you ain't got no right to search now. You get the right to stop me, ask me what you need, write your ticket, and go on about your way. That's all you get. You get nothing else.
Right.
But that's also knowing the law enough to say, you can't flash a flashlight in my car. You can't do any of that. You can't ask me no questions. You can't ask me whether, you can see if I got something sitting right here, it's licensed. But you can't ask me about it because that's not what you stopped me for.
Right.
You only stopped me for a traffic stop. Stop for the stop, do what you're going to do, write the ticket and go on. I could be locked and loaded with it on the dash, on the front. You can't ask me about it because it's against the law. But again, we've been taught, going back to your point, to run to everybody's thing. You're going to see black people wearing green on March 17th and drinking green beer and having green eggs and ham. That ain't your stuff. If you really understood the reason why that it was called St. Patrick, he was running the Twa people out of Ireland. And the Twa people wasn't no rats. That's what they talked to. That's the name that they gave us when the Twa people, they call them pygmies. So for y'all that don't know, but it's Twa or Twee. He helped run the black people out of Ireland.
Mm.
And the whole story was he used the flute. That wasn't a flute. It was weapons. Okay, so here's the other part about that. How many people know that during World War II, after the 6 million Jewish people got murdered in concentration camps and burned in the ovens, that there were 16 million people that they considered to be gypsies that were murdered, and 18 million Africans over there that they gathered and murdered. Let alone over in the Congo, the 20 million people that were murdered and mutilated by Leopold and Cecil Rhodes.
Yeah, the Rhodes Scholar.
But we get Rhodes Scholar from, because afterwards he was some sort of, he didn't even set that up. So yeah, before King we start Leopold. Talking about all of that other stuff, yeah, and what about King Leopold?
Yeah, but I say us as a people, we get, we'll forget all that. Like they won't, not gonna say they want us to forget that because they don't want to show the history that what they done.
Because they want to say that we're absolved of it because it was our ancestors.
Yeah.
But you still, what did I say last week? The first dollar that was ever made off of selling an African person is still circulating in the world.
Yeah.
If you get any insurance from Aetna, then they were insuring ships and people. And you got your insurance through Aetna. As a matter of fact, when it was offered through my school system, I canceled it because I knew. Oh, no, I don't want no insurance from them.
No, if you go look at Lords of London, look how they got started.
Off of slave ships and slaves.
Yeah, see, that's what I be looking at. Like, a lot of time we don't want to do, it's selective policy, it's selective history.
Yeah.
What they want to judge it by.
Yeah.
Like how we talking, you can't have that type of talk. They want to talk about we shall overcome. And that, I'm not talking no shot at the king. But even in the end, he seen where he went off at.
Yeah.
And he said that I feel like I'm integrating my people to a burning house.
Right.
But see, they don't never want to talk about that. You got Jesse, Aldom that came in. Then you had the next ones coming in. And don't get me wrong. When you see, Shadi Shah, I would never say, but we not getting the full extent on how that war started.
And first and foremost, this country started by destroying a whole 100 million other people.
But see, this is what they don't want to look. This is where I feel like we getting this wrong. And I just think we just jump on it because they tell us this is what we got to go
Somebody's
do.
doing something wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that there should be war on another group of people. I'm not saying that. That is wrong as well. But at the same time, what about the 100 million people that was pulled over here? You got the second largest population of African people in the world is in Brazil. How did they get over there? We know some was, but most of them were brought over there.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. We get caught up in the because we being told who to dislike and like,
and without doing any reading and research.
If you go really look at that what's the name? Ukraine was shooting missiles over there in Russia first. I don't got it all the way down, but I was looking at who started. They even had to admit really with the, and like and you know what I'm saying, and it's like the United States because people forget about the war hawks of the government. They forget about the war hawks.
Yeah,
like war is big business, and people don't understand when that man I understood what Trump was saying when he was saying, look, I'm trying to save your country. You losing, you know what I'm saying? Without the United States, you would have been probably wiped out. It's no end. It's no winning for this war, and I think us over here we war fatigue.
Well, not only that, because this country's been at war out of 270 something years since 1776 to now. It's been only like less than 20 years that there's been a war that this country's not been involved in, whether it be civil war or otherwise. But what Lords of London is a insurance company.
Yeah, you see a lot of the athletes get insured for like you might get $2 million for one leg. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but they started out
as enslavers. They were slave ships and enslaved people in England.
Yeah.
We have to be students, right?
Right.
Now, we know the reason why Russia is invading Ukraine or both is because Russia formally said years ago when the first invasion happened, not this recent one, but years ago, that we formally owned them. And so the United States backed Ukraine. Now you got the same thing. So even if Ukraine started it first, they're trying to protect their interests as a sovereign nation that's on a border of Russia, right? But my issue is here. My issue is you and making sure you straight. And your issue is me and making sure I'm straight, right? That should be our issue first. We want to take care of everybody, but no, we still on the plantation here.
Oh yeah, no.
Because we're not studying and reading to do anything that says, hey, look, we need to take care of us first.
Because you might be supporting the devil. That's what I be meaning. Like when they saying, "Oh, we going with this. Oh, we riding with this person over here." These people don't even. I'm really talking about ours because we don't know national politics, world politics.
No. We get bits and pieces of it.
These people can't even handle city council.
No, right.
I'm just telling you. But then they want to jump out to world politics.
Yeah.
Now you can't even handle where you at here. How you gonna go in and that's why I just feel like we be getting these bad stories and stuff. Like they'll have you believe when the United States went over there when they what was it called Black Hawk Down. Man, they went and invaded in these African countries.
Listen, the Patrice Lumumba was killed on orders of the CIA, and they used the Belgian government to do it. Because they didn't want a United States of Africa, and they didn't want them to overthrow their former colonizers.
This just like when the United States had that missile. Did the United States like when Russia was over there setting up stuff in Cuba? That's too close. It's like you right there off Miami. That's like with anybody. That's why Russia like, no, y'all not finna have NATO on Russian borders.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So you did one thing. What do we say about chess? You make a move, and I'm thinking 5, 6, 7, 8 moves ahead about if you move any one of these pieces, what are my moves going to be?
Right.
But that's world politics.
Yeah, and that's what they don't get. They don't understand America is a crumbling empire right now.
Yeah.
See, we don't want to believe that. You got to understand you can't have bases just like when Rome went down. You know why Rome went down? Because they was fighting too many wars.
They was fighting too many wars, and they was drinking out of lead cups, and they poisoned themselves with their stupid self.
Yeah, but
they didn't know how to make other. But anyway,
but they was but it was starting to expand.
They were too thin to be able.
You can't keep expanding. You know how many bases United States got on
everywhere.
You know that costs money.
Right. But you just keep printing money and then
but
whatever.
and then that's what people don't understand. Yeah, you know, they was gonna have to make some cuts, like they said. Our military budget, if you put all the 9 countries, you know, just cutting in half, we still beating them.
Everybody.
That's what I'm saying.
You got a $55 billion airplane.
So how you gonna have a $39 trillion debt, and you thinking, oh, you gonna just keep printing money? What you think gonna happen if you keep printing it?
Because
and it ain't
who owns 66% of your debt? China.
Okay.
Okay. So therefore,
when you woofing at them,
right? Oh, okay. I'll just pull your debt card.
And then what?
Then what you got to do?
And the thing that you seeing on the world scale, what you seeing is like, and people don't want to admit, y'all hate Trump. Don't get me wrong. I voted for Kamala. But I was seeing how these people, Zelensky, he doing this. He came and he checked Trump. Are y'all crazy? This man, y'all ain't even looking what Ukraine did with the money. Right. They done mismanaged the money, the hundreds of billions that then came in. And you mean to tell me that, like Angela said, Flint water not even fixed yet?
So, and again, right? So if we're not talking about our own concerns and our own issues, what do I care about any of the rest of them for? Yeah. Okay. I teach at a school that I have that's probably, I'm going to say 90% African American children. Yeah. Our reading scores, at least even the ones that I did, because I'm a reader. Right. But teaching how to read, teaching children to read, and not just have you read is one thing, because there's other stuff that they want us to do. And I'm learning that. My math scores were good, but my reading scores can be better. And I'm going to make it happen. That requires me to study. So am I concerned about what's going on in Ukraine? Or am I concerned about what's happening with my young people that I should be concerned about? Am I making sure that that I'm concerned about what's going on over in, and that's not that I don't keep an eye on it. Yeah. But I got a daughter that's getting ready. You saw your niece. Yeah. She getting ready to graduate in May. Yeah. So who am I going to be more concerned about?
That's what I'm saying. You have to take, like they always say, take care of home first and charity.
United States has never taken care of home.
And that's why we got these problems that we have. I'm not knocking what you're saying, Shardy. I'm just saying, ain't nobody, what we seeing is really the reshaping of the superpowers.
Yeah.
You seeing the reshaping.
Absolutely, I like that.
Yeah, it's really being the reshaping, because what do you see, even what you looking at over in Africa? They got the colonial powers over there. And they want to push them out, but who they letting in?
China and Russia, which I think is the biggest mistake.
Basically, you doing the same thing. Yeah. It's not like you getting right. You know what I'm saying? You being independent. Yeah. Same thing that we saying. All the minerals is there. They coming for y'all resources. How have it that we let Africa be so underdeveloped?
Because let me answer that for you real quick. The reason why Africa is underdeveloped is, number one, Europe, because they only needed what they wanted from it. And second, because we have been told that we're not connected to them, and they have been told that they're not connected to us. And Dr. Theophilo Benga, one of my teachers, he's in his late 80s, 90s now, said that they're waiting on us to come back, but we cannot go back over there acting like white folks, because that's typically what happens. We'll go over there and act like Europeans instead of coming over there to learn. Whenever I've gone home, I was glad to sit over there at the feet of the elders. But I'm going to sit right here and learn. And then eventually, after 2-3 days, and they see that I wasn't acting like no white boy, or whatever, whoever, they acted like I wasn't acting like I was a hardy European or a hardy American. Guess what? Hey, man, we got to take him. He's going to be part of our family. And that's when I went over there with my family, and we got initiated into the oldest griot family. And I get recognized for that. Now, not that I care about the recognition, but, hey, when you coming back home, you ain't been home in a long time. Hey, when you coming home, you ain't been home in a long time. Oh, my sister just passed away. I need you to help out. And you send in to help out.
Nah, Shardy, what I'm looking at, I get it, but who coming to help us fight for our fights too?
Right. So Shardy, here's the deal, sweetie. And we understand that. He a teacher too. Oh, my fault, big bro. My fault. I didn't the way that the name was.
Shardy,
yeah. So let me apologize for the mistake I just made. But if you wake up in the morning Let me put it in a parable. If you had to go hunt and there was only one sandwich in the house, who's gonna eat? You or the wife and kids? But it's your job to go out and bring food back. And you know where you're gonna go get the food at. But you gotta go hunt, kill the animal, bring it back, skin it, and all that other stuff to prepare for everybody to eat. Who gonna eat the sandwich? You or the family? Or the wife and the kids?
It don't have to be the wife and the kids.
No. No,
you,
I'm gonna eat. Because I need the energy to go do the killing and the skinning and the dragging it back up here. I'm gonna eat first. Right? Because I know where the animal's at. I already laid stuff out for to get the animal. I'm going to go out there in the next hour or so. I'm going to be back home. But if I got to drag a 150, 200-pound animal with no energy.
Right. It's a problem.
It's a problem. Meanwhile, women's bodies are designed to conserve energy because that's how they're designed. So it's okay for her to be a little hungry for a bit. Because I'm telling you, I'll be back home in a couple hours. But I need this sandwich in order for me to be able to go get so we'll be straight so we can eat. So I'm going to eat.
No, you doing what's right. I get it now when you saying it like that. But could you bringing a meal back?
I'm going to bring a meal back and we're going to be straight for months.
Yeah, you just got to need the energy to
I need the energy to go hunt. So why are we concerned about all these outside things? Because first and foremost, you have to take care of yourself. Yeah. Why am I going to tell you my house is dirty, but I'm going to go tell you, man, you want me to help you clean mine, but you ain't going to help me clean mine.
Yeah, and I think that's really, I think, and I agree with you. Because to go to fast forward to this other story I seen, you seen where the brother got killed by his was it his wife or girlfriend?
Girlfriend.
I know he got babies by. She was white, he was black.
Yeah, this is girlfriend.
Girlfriend.
Yeah.
But did you see how he was dogging black women out?
He was dogging black, and she got mad at him dogging black women out and killed him over that.
And that's what, and this one is so tripped out. And I give it,
it's still tragic. Yeah,
condolences to his family.
Right.
But I was just looking at certain people was like, you know what I'm saying? They was like they was dogging the brother out. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, the wife and kids came in first. But anyway,
that's why when I was looking at it, I was like, damn. And I was saying, I'm like, you gotta have some compassion because the life is gone.
Right.
But dude, you was just talking about black women. Do you see the brainwash of us?
Yeah, shit. Wow. That man said he'd rather sleep with a dog than
a black woman. They pulled the receipts up how he was down in black women.
And why would she get upset though?
First she said she was cleaning her gun. Yeah.
Okay. And I'm not even gonna.
And went to some.
Wait a second. How you gonna clean a gun if you got a gun apart? You ain't got one in the chamber.
That's what I'm telling you, man. I was looking at this stuff when I was saying, I was like, damn. But I'm like, the compassion of me was like, damn, that's messed up. He lost his life. But it's like, dude, you were just dogging the sisters out.
You were dogging your mama out. Right. And your grandmama out. And your sisters out. All of them.
Yeah, and then it's like, and this how you get took out.
But I'm just, again, if you're cleaning a gun, okay, thank you, my brother. If you're cleaning a gun, the very first thing that you do after you remove the magazine is you check to make sure there's not one in the chamber. Now, if you lock it and one's in the chamber, you pop it out. If you know,
right,
you can't even, if you rack it, right, in order to see, and it doesn't, you got to release it. In order for it to fire, and then it still won't fire because you didn't pull the trigger. You just put one in the chamber, and that's all. And even if one was in the chamber and there was your magazine was out, that gun's not gonna fire unless you pull the trigger and hit the pin.
And that's what I was.
So she lied, and of course she gonna get out of it because she's a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white girl.
We gonna see.
She gonna get a slap on the wrist. Come on, how about the police officer he was in my house. Because that was your former lover, he didn't want to be bothered with you no more.
And they just didn't want to put that out.
They didn't want to put that out there. So you accidentally go after a drink, go up to his room on another floor, 2 floors above you, talking about you didn't know that you was in the same room. I didn't read it. Yeah. That you entered the wrong apartment and you went up 2 floors to the 3rd floor and your house was on the 1st floor and you went and shot this man Talking about,
Facts.
come on, bro.
But see, that's the point that I'll be looking at when you seeing how it's going on. I'm
Yeah.
like, we are confused.
Yeah.
When you just look at how society in America, we confused.
Yeah.
It's like when you see what's going on. I was trying to watch the Democratic Party. Don't get me wrong, because I've told you I'm a lifelong voter Democrat. Do you understand what they fighting for? They don't even got the message. They don't realize. I couldn't believe that Trump, how he came in and threw everything. Like they don't even believe the message that they pushing right now. They don't even know which way to go, left or right.
Right. But they can't though. They can't. See, he came in and he said it in 1985, and I'm gonna go back to this. He said that if he were ever to be elected in a high official capacity, that he was going to destroy the government system. He said that the two-party system will destroy it.
Yeah. But if you look at the ones he destroyed, they gave Negroes hell. FBI. People keep forgetting about COINTELPRO. You know, don't get me wrong. I understand why a lot of these, like the Jessies and them, White Jesse, Al Sharpton, I'm talking about these black, like the LCU, the Southern, what is it,
Southern Christian Leadership Conference, SCLC, right.
They seen what happened to Margaret Effort.
Yeah.
They seen what happened to Martin Luther King. They seen these people. Do you understand when it was the black guy and the two Jews doing, what they based Mississippi burning up?
Yeah.
Just for Negroes to vote, y'all killed them and buried them in a shadowy grave.
Yeah. But
for voting.
For voting. So if when the Constitution was written in those first constitutional conventions that said that they didn't include certain people, and then the 13th, 14th, 15th amendments were added later on, and that still doesn't include certain people. And people show you that they don't include you. Why are we trying to be included?
Because they keep because we love a beautiful lie than the ugly truth.
Dang. Bro, we got to put that on a shirt.
No, we do. We love the beautiful lie than the ugly truth.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's true. It do make sense. They want to keep telling you, like we was talking about the COVID. It was called Asian hate crime bill.
Right.
But they couldn't call it that. They had to call it the COVID-19 bill.
Right. That's
but if you read what's in there,
it's an Asian hate bill.
They acting like, don't get me wrong, it's never good when nobody getting beat up. But do you know how many times blacks been having this going through? You mean to tell me we couldn't even get the George Floyd bill?
Wait a second though. There was and this was mentioned again, and I mentioned it before. There was, I think, a Filipino and a Korean man who were having a discussion that if it weren't for the blood and deaths and beatings of black people in the 60s, with the Civil Rights Act and Voters' Rights Act, the Asian people would have absolutely no rights in this country. And yet you go to a store where the Asian, they treat you like you less than.
Shit.
I told you I ain't ever going back over to that Chinese place again, bro. And all because you want to mess up my stuff and then you want to clown me in front of people, you don't get an opportunity to do that again. I'll keep my few dollars.
Yeah, no, but that's what we got to do. See what it is. We let so many different people come because we you know what they see us disrespecting each other.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Why would they have to respect you?
And that's all it is, because when the Native Americans decided whatever, and she's absolutely right, to study that you all did this to us, and no matter what, the Lakota tribe against the Apaches and this, they were like, we all one group of people. You just slaughtered us all, so we got to give us something in return. The unfortunate issue is that white folks are still in charge of the casinos, but they got something. When the Japanese got their reparations from being interned during the internment camps, and those 20,000 people got all of that money back then, what did they do? They took it and sent some of it back to Japan and rebuilt their community or whatever, or wherever they lived at after that. But they got theirs because there was a united group.
But this just shows you how crazy we are. Because we can sit up here, like I'm just reading the comments. I'm trying to gather it, like, why we can justify sending money to all these wars, Ukraine, all this, but we can't send. I get it. They blew the money here. They mismanaged the money in Flint, but they also mismanaged the money in that war too.
But guess
Let's
what?
be real.
Who gonna benefit from the war?
Yeah, you got a point there.
There's somebody gonna benefit from the war. There's always the World War One happened after they killed, was it Ferdinand or whoever it was, over in 1914, right? But both sides of the war were being funded by somebody over in England. Both sides of the war. So no matter what,
You talking about the Rockefellers, is
that no, they came later. Who was the other? It was on the tip of my tongue. I almost said it. Rothschilds.
Rothschilds, that's what I was going to say.
Okay, Rothschilds. They funded both sides of the war. So if they funded both sides of the war, no matter who won, they're gonna win.
Right.
If we lose, we still gonna win. War is big. You just said it. War is big business, right?
No, it is.
And Miss Angela said that the Democrats, we have to remember this, love and family. Mm-hmm. There's only one party.
Right.
There ain't no Democratic Party. There ain't no Republican Party. It's the I'm gonna get paid party. Native Americans people say left wing, right wing, same bird.
Facts.
Right? Now, let me say this about this reparations thing you just came up with. Now, everybody jumped on this thing, and then there's another one coming up from the 7th to the 14th about boycotting Amazon and all this other stuff. But the money that we're saving from not going to these places, what are we doing with it? What's being done with the money? Are we going back and fundamentally saying, oh, well, we cost Target $15 billion because we didn't go spend with Target. But did we go spend it somewhere else? Or did we take that money and go ahead on and decide we're going to invest it in something in our community? What do we do with it?
You got a point.
What do we do with it? Because if we did anything here in the city, in our city, or a group of people who may be listening, say, man, we have access to some of that $15 billion that we didn't spend with them or whatever, because they don't have these programs that other groups benefit from other than us. So how about we take part of that and let's go, hey, man, we're going to send y'all $200,000, $300,000 and y'all open up a school and let me see what you're going to do. Or you go buy some property and let's see what you're going to do. And then that way, if we don't deliver, then we got to shut up.
Right.
And we're not saying that, because sometimes when people hear your rhetoric, they want to back off of it because you seem to be too radical.
Oh, facts.
That people are not gonna sit around there and say, well, we'll go ahead on and give you, $50-60 million in order to do, buy a school and renovate it and then turn it into something that's going to turn out scholars.
They going to leave you out there. All you got to do is go study history. How many Judas? See, they talk about Judas in the Bible. They don't tell you the present Judas and the future Judas.
Yeah.
They just tell you about
the one back there
in the day in the past. Right. No, it's so many of them current right now. You know what I'm saying? It's like how you can see. Oh my God. You can see how this thing is finna be set up. Who finna be controlling the Flint school system? Yeah. You can see how it's already playing out. Yeah. Unbelievable. Yeah. But you have people saying they doing the work.
You're doing the work for somebody else.
Right.
That's what you're doing the work for. You're doing the work for somebody else. Because we still are not being students of what we should be students of.
Right.
We're still being students for somebody else's benefit.
Right. No, you're right on that.
Right, so one of our solutions is if you're going to do some economic boycott, then what do you think? When it happened in 55, 56 with the Montgomery bus boycott, they also was able to take that money and renovate some of their neighborhoods with it too. But nothing happened anywhere else. So you want to call for a nationwide boycott of this. a day here, a week there, you know, 2 weeks over here. Next month we're gonna do another week. 2 weeks from now we're gonna do something. Who cares?
But you know what that is, though, don't you?
That's reactionary.
Yeah, but that's really to show Roland Martin and Al Sharpton, in my humble opinion, allegedly, that see we got people to follow us. That's to keep them people that's running them. Why you think when something go down, they will either run to Al Sharp? I mean, doing Jesse doing back in the day, the blacks got to run to him. Now Sharpton, the man they run to.
But I don't know him.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
No, yeah. Right, and I get what you're saying, but I don't know either one of them other than through allegeds,
yeah,
you know, and legends or whatever you want to call it. So if we're in this community, working in this community, helping this community, working towards benefiting this community, what about what we're trying to do? Well, because it would make more sense in order for us to be talking about, okay, we got a school up the street. Let's grab that school and then go ahead on and open the school up and then start to have it as a community center or whatever we want to do.
Man, it's hard to do that when you really see people that say they for the kids and not for themselves.
No, man, they all for themselves. And it's okay to be for yourself, but don't sacrifice the kids first.
Right.
Right? So I should, for the last 6 beautiful weeks, I was going to Saginaw to teach a class there. Wonderful. Great kids, good spot, whatever. Met some good people. Cool. No problem. How come we don't have a spot here that I can go to? Now I got to go to Saginaw. And it ain't like we don't have spaces and places, but people want to control that.
You see Hasselbrink, don't you?
Right. Which is still, like, still. And once again, I'm going to compare that to the one out in Flushing that's supposed to be part of the same thing because it's in Genesee County. I mean, you got people that got put out for what?
Because they don't like you.
I'm not here for you to like. My job is to serve, for me, serve students, to serve students. And hopefully, as we're beginning to, you know, have more viewers or whatever, serve people. And hopefully they learn something from it and really take it into heart and go do something with it. That's the whole point of the exercise.
Yeah. But you got to get more people. Because I'm just like, to me personally, like we were saying last week, when you got to get a group of like-minded people, you got to do that because you're going to have to shut the noise people out.
Yeah.
If you don't shut them out, they like a cancer, man. They will come in and eat you from the inside. And I see it now. Like, I mean, but with all our, as they call it, like organizations.
Yeah. But which is the reason why I said a very small number.
No, smart.
Right.
Smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, smart.
And smart. If this is not what you want to do, it's okay to go.
Yeah, smart. No, but you have to start that, though.
Yeah.
But like you said, I get exactly what you're saying. You have to go small because when you go big, people still be forgetting what J. Edgar Hoover said. See, stuff like that, if you notice, they have plans. Why you think they stuff just because they no longer here?
Oh, no, this stuff is perpetual.
Pattern is still is alive and well. Right. A man might not. We definitely know.
1712. He wrote this and he gave it to people. And you mean to tell me that we still don't follow the same thought pattern because we not think we are part of it? So part of your homework, family, is to go through, find this letter, read it, and then look at your own lives and look at the life, especially your life. Don't worry about everybody else now. Look at your life and see how you are impacted by the system that we live in. It's real simple. If you talk about in any way, shape, or form, I don't like this person. Now we gonna say stuff judgmental. Oh, I don't think she should have wore that because it's too revealing, or this or that or other, or whatever. We got to be mindful. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the deeper hatred that we carry, those types of things. If we're talking about starting to decolonialize our minds, right? Which is where we start talking about, hey, it's more important for me to worry about what's happening here than it is for me to worry about what's happening over there, because I got to make sure my house is in order.
That's why they worrying about Project 2025, where it come from. Study that letter.
That's all it is reinvention and rediscussing this letter.
They want to know what Project 2025 would have, and they want to know where all this, like when they be having all these things that come down and hurt our community. Go read that letter.
And then if it's going, the job is to hurt our community, but what are we doing to make sure and not being reactionary?
Right.
See, this thing on the 28th was reactionary.
That's all it was.
Okay, because what we did in the 50, 55, 56 was, okay, since y'all want to do this, we're going to plan this. Since this is what your position is, we're planning this. Not, they cut our program, so we're going to turn around and we're not going to, and it's going to hurt them, but eventually, what are you going to do with the money that you took from them? Now, hopefully some people save their money. That'd be great. But
you know what the latter is.
Yeah, because on the first, where did y'all go?
Thank you. Thank you.
So the next joint is supposed to be Amazon, right? From the 7th to the 14th. But up to the 6th, I can order.
Make that make sense. To me, that's rolling in, just in my humble opinion, allegedly. That's the ones who like, hey, we can hurt y'all business. And then you'll mess around and see an Amazon commercial on Rolling Show. Or you'll see Al Sharpton doing the Amazon commercial.
Yeah, well, see, but because the other part about that is for programming, if you have commercials and those are your sponsors, they paying for you to be on.
Facts. But that's what I'm saying. But they.
But if you was really gonna be doing this, then you wouldn't have done anything reactionary. You keep your mouth closed.
Right.
Keep your mouth closed.
Yeah,
and you get with groups of people that's serious about it and you plan it. But you don't have a large group of people. You have a small group of people.
Right.
And you go from place to place and you plan it and then you set it up that way.
Because what we still having police brutality, blacks still getting killed.
Poor education.
Oh, and what you think poor education lead to?
Prison.
Okay. We got the school to prison pipeline. And what other civilized country will you hear a school to prison pipeline?
There's none. The United States is has the highest number of we were number one in education, now we're number one in incarceration.
That's what I'm saying. What nation would have you even have that discussed by
anybody?
Leaders, you know what I'm saying? Right. Leaders that saying, even the scholars,
right?
When you can see it, the school to prison pipeline.
Yeah.
What you think you throwing out a kid in the 12th grade that only can read to the 5th or 6th grade level? What you think he got out there to do?
Nothing. But you already know because you planned it. You already planned that.
Right.
Okay. So family, once again, here's a solution. Right? We got about all these problems. Here's the solution. Mm-hmm. If you have a student, no matter what their grade is, and they cannot read above a 4th grade level, you're walking them to prison.
I agree.
You're walking them to prison.
I agree.
And most of the newspapers that are written are only written on the 6th to 8th grade level. That includes Wall Street Journal, Barron's, New York Times is written at a 6th grade level.
Are you serious?
Absolutely, God.
Dang. Didn't know that.
Yeah, man. Those two financial newspapers are only written at an 8th grade, 9th grade level.
How they really feel about the residents?
What residents?
I mean, the people.
The people that think, man, you dumb.
That's what I'm saying. They for them to be giving grown adults, you know how many people been reading them newspapers?
Man, well, I used to get them, bro, religiously until I found out on the low level in which they were reading.
Yeah, because man, I used to have to go get the Detroit Times, the Detroit Free Press,
all of that,
along with
4th grade Detroit Free Press in the Detroit News.
Then it went to USA Today.
Yeah, USA Today, 5th grade.
Yeah, I remember my old man was sending me around to the store to go get a newspaper.
Yeah, 5th grade USA Today.
It was 50 cents. You had to put it in the machine.
Put it in the machine and get out of the machine.
Open it up. I was still a couple extra. I'm gonna be honest now. Don't blame me. That was me and my child.
Yeah, you were being a kid. But
pay for one, get two.
Pay for one, get four.
Yeah, I did that sometimes too.
Especially the Sunday edition because it was thicker.
Yeah, it was thicker than my grandfather.
Yeah, there you go. You need a newspaper read.
Yeah.
But 5th grade level. Flint Journal, 4th grade level.
See what I'm saying?
And then we're not forcing our students to read other stuff that's going to cause them to do some thinking, like Before the Mayflower. We're not reading it because we're not reading it.
No, we're not.
We're not reading it. Well, it's 2:30. I know you said you had to get out of here because you got a busy day.
Yeah. I'll tell you about it when we get off.
Yeah. Family, go do your reading and your research. Family, take care of home first. It's okay to think about those other things, but those things should not be in the foremost front of your head, higher and better and bigger than you. Study. Make sure your children study. Read to and with your children. You make it easier for you and them in the future. Then we won't be hearing these horror stories about somebody got time, you got to go to jail because you're not thinking. Right? So you're not using your thinking skills. You're just being reactionary. We have to stop being reactionary and be proactive. First and foremost is educating ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
That's first and foremost. All right, family, until the next time.
All right, peace, fam.
Peace, fam.
We're going to do something back, Thursday or something? You gonna still
we can still try and do Friday.
Okay,
It's up to you, man.
Yeah,
Let me know.
We'll see.